Alright, here we are back in another Stormgate cast, and I'm Algorithmore. This is going to be another ladder game that I just stole off on tap.gg, and this one is going to come from our blue celestial friend here, GameFriend. Now again, we did take this from GameFriend's ladder, who also has his public replay, so shout out GameFriend. That's why he is my game friend, because he has his replays on public. And if you would like to see your replays on a future Algorithmore cast, make your replays public too, and I might just steal one and cast one. Okay, that's my shameless plug for this game. But also, yeah, again, shout out to GameFriend and to JXP. That's also part of the reason why I selected this one off of GameFriend's ladder, is because JXP also has his public replays. Now this is very curious here. This is JXP. I didn't mention this when we introduced him here, but JXP, what are you doing here? You're playing the Infernal race? Well, good on you, man. That's the race I like to play as well. And let's see, maybe this will be a permanent changeover for our usual Vanguard player, JXP. But maybe on this particular patch he decided Infernal is OP, or Inferno P as the infamous Twitch viewer is off to say. Well, maybe he decided to join. If you can't beat him, join him. And he's got his Hexen down here harassing the Celestial. And this GameFriend's got a Morph Core out. Now he's got a fully saturated collection array here. This collection array is up with a single worker on it. And there was another Morph Core out, but it turned into a creation chamber. I wonder if this is the new meta. I've seen this in a few games I've cast, but for Celestials, if you're going 2 array into creation chamber. Now there are some fiends here. They were split, and they both get taken out by that Sovereign's Watch, and there is no Sovereign's Watch here. Oh, now there is. So now there is, and that is going to mean this brute's gonna split as well. And there used to be a health camp here. Now it's just a lonely high ground. No one wants to go up there for any reason. Maybe proxy some buildings up there. And JXP, trying to be kind of aggressive here, has waited out the Sovereign's Watch and is now going to take out the Link node before it transforms into a strike mode, and is right back attacking these. Now, did he get that in time? Yeah, I think he... Nope, this is also an impermanent one. We see it get sniped out by an Argent there. Now, the Fiends are working on the Creation Chamber. And yeah, the Argents are doing a pretty good job of trying to kite that Brute. Another Brute comes in the back and he's got a big cleaver. He wants to take this Argent out. The Fiend's turn, and that Argent goes down. There's now a third Fiend out here. So this is pretty good play so far. The Creation Chamber has now been taken out as well. And the Fiend's turn to fight the Argents. The Argents up here getting repowered up. So they are going to be doing that extra damage. But there are a lot of Fiends here, but there is a strike node in the back, and that's enough to chase JXP away. JXP may have had time to get the array lifted up. So I was going to say he might have been able to get that array, but the array lifted off, and that's still pretty good, kind of all-in-y damage there. Okay, it's not really all-in. With this crazy eco, you can do that kind of pressure and still have your base behind it droning. What are we on here? Yeah, 9 on Therium here. Another Conclave popping out. I mentioned this in another cast, but how many production do you need? I think certainly more than he's got right now. Yeah, so he's gone for a third base because of the income. But interestingly, yeah, it's 10 workers on Therium at this point, not transferring them over to the Luminite down here or to this Therium over here. And what is going to be going on with all of that extra Therium? I guess we will see. It's too early for a dragon, so it could just be saving up for like Hellborn tech or popping out some mags. We'll see. With this much Therium, that's enough to do something serious. You need a lot of Luminite to back up those build suggestions I just made, so we'll see. Again, this is JXP's off faction, so he may be, you know, just winging it, just playing it. If I was certainly playing my off faction, I mean, if I play my main faction, I'm usually just winging it. So, but if you don't have the build orders memorized, you don't really know a good style to play. You're really just playing with your instincts as a RTS player. Well, as a Stormgate player, maybe. JXP is certainly an expert in the Vanguard faction. And you can often take that expertise into another faction, in particular in the matchup against your main faction. This is not the matchup that JXP is playing right now, though, of course. He's playing against the Celestials. That's not his main faction either. So this is a matchup that he has not experienced a lot of. This is definitely one of his alien matchups. But so far, doing all right with that early pressure and at least getting some buildings killed, getting some Argents killed, and taking out or delaying that mining for a few moment, maybe a minute there. Of course, we see it up and running again for GameFriend. GameFriend already got this base saturated to 2. Is he looking on a 4th? I don't see one yet. There we go. I think there's our Morph Core headed on their way to the 4th. And what do we have here? An Arc ship with a bunch of Argents beneath it. Another Morph Core popping. And we've got our Ascension Matrix back here. We do have Starforges. Oh, with the Sabers, of course. Sabers coming out. Guardian Nexus looks to be done with any upgrades. Yeah, photoreceptors or photocapacitors already done. Photoreceptors would be something different. I work a little bit in, I was going to say robotics, adjacent to robotics. Maybe my brain was thinking about photoreceptors because of that. Not that I do any work with photoreceptors on a regular basis. So this vision tower going to be taken here. These fiends are out on the map, I think, scouting out. Oh, what's going on here? This Morph Core maybe got lost. Or is maybe going for the secret plate. That's all that's left here. This must be for proxying. This is where Celestials use their proxy. It's always nice for map builders to make a perfect proxy location for you. The Fiend finally gets in and sees, oh, there is a base here. And GameFriend is got the supply lead now, so definitely able to use the macro, the Celestial macro, to get up to a good supply. Also spending his money a little bit better than JXP, who's got a huge bank of Therium now. There's almost nothing you need that for. And that, of course, Infernals need a lot of Therium, but you don't usually need it before you can afford it with your Luminite. We are seeing Spriggan Tech popping out here for JXP, and they're just chilling out. How many has he got? Only the 3? Oh no, he's got a bigger swarm over here. And is this going to be part of the main army? It's Brutes and Spriggans. Interesting choice. The Brutes look like they're going to not do very well against this composition. They're mostly going to melt. But the Spriggans are going to do incredibly well against this composition. They do extra damage to everything down there. And if those Argents, I don't know what their priority is. It must be air, I'm guessing. But the Argents don't do a great job against Spriggans. There's just so many Spriggans here. Maybe more than GameFriend was expecting. His Sabers have to retreat. There was this forward Ascension Matrix, and this is something new that Celestial players are experimenting with, especially with a few of the pros, like GameFriend, which is to build some of your buildings forward, like Guardian Nexuses and Ascension Matrices. And that's because when you search them, they give you bonuses to your units. Guardian Nexuses give you bonus armor to buildings, I think. Ooh, there's some Kree trying to do a little run by here, but Spriggans found that too. And the Ascension Matrices give you bonus damage, so your Sabers actually, I think, do 20% more damage, which is a lot. These Vectors here are chewing up some Spriggans that didn't realize they were just on attack move. Now these Spriggans here, they're going to take this base out pretty quickly, and then bye-bye to the Prisms too. Interesting thing, of course, the Prisms cannot mine at all. if there's no collection array there, I think that's maybe one choice that I would roll back. Because one of the comments was in the patch notes that the reason we've made this change is so that there can be more partial harassment, that when you harass a base, it's not all or nothing. That's exactly what it is. Well, in this case, the Spriggans are going for the prisms, but most of the time I think you just target the array anyways, because when the array goes down, all mining goes down. In this case, those Spriggans, they were just on attack move, and they took out the prisms while getting a little bit picked off by the vectors there, and then flying past, they're getting some more shots. And another Sovereign's Watch preemptively called to try and take them out, and they're just trying to get home. But I think a lot of good damage was done. One of those bases taken out. And that proxy is here. I don't know if anything rolled out. It must have. I see some injured farms here. But that might have been it. No, there are some injured imps there. So the Kree must have got in there. But we did peek in there for a second. Saw that Spriggan. Oh, they did get the whatchamacallit. What is that building called? I always forget that one. The Twilight Spire and the other building that helps you build the Spriggans. Drawing that blank. My bad. Need to go back to Stormgate school and memorize all my buildings and upgrades. And of course, that's a big old lie. I never memorized any of those. And I never even went to Stormgate school. Wahahaha. Alright, here come the Spriggies. Where are they going? I think they're just out looking. Is there another base here? We got the Ark ship trying to populate this. Repopulate, I should say. And, is there just not going to be anything more coming out of this proxy here? I mean, all those Argents could just be building up here on the high ground until you have a big mass of them and then just march them down. Not that a big ball of Argents is super great, but 20 imps here, about to be doing some mining on this mine. jayxp definitely has the better income right now. Oh, here the Spriggans are again. Sorry, I missed this. They're trying to get on top. Is that already an Arc Fortress? It looks like it might be. So many vectors, though. That's just anti-Spriggan tech right there. They're just going to rip through those Spriggies. And how's that Arc Fortress? Where'd you go, buddy? You're doing all right. Where'd that other Arc ship go? Did it get taken out? Might have got taken out. Only 4 Spriggans left, though. There was a huge force there earlier, and more had been built, so that's not great. And these imps that were long distance, they're kind of just telling the vectors, hey, follow us to the base. Oh, look, we've got even more imps added. Please just chew us up down here. Now, here come a bunch of Gaunts. I don't know how well the Gaunts are going to do. The Sabres in the back there aren't getting a great job at shooting out. They're just picking off 2 or 3 while these Gaunts are chasing. Now, these Gaunts, as we can see, they're still quite slow. They do not yet have their Reaper's Rush upgrades, which is quite late. They have to take out the speed camp there as it was aggroed. Half of them going back to fight against the Sabres and Argents. That's not good. While the other half chase the Vectors. These Gaunts are a little bit caught out of position here, and they're a little bit getting surrounded. Here comes an Archangel. You're going to get that nice meteor strike. Where you at, buddy? He's just floating above trying to get the speed camp. Come on, land on these Gaunts. Show them what you got. He's just taunting them. He's like, I could, but no. Only get a couple. All mostly just tanking there. Vectors on top. Ooh, with the Saber flank. The Vectors are going to go for the Shadow Flyers, which is an interesting choice. There's nothing for the Shadow Flyers to go for here. I think they were called out for the Archangel, but the Archangel's on the ground. And now the Sabres are on the high ground. And what are they attacking here? They're attacking the Therium mining imps. A lot of them got taken out there, it looks like. I mean, this is a nice harass position, but this army was already chewing through jayxp. Why don't you just move in instead of just, pelting down with a few shots from the high ground? That looks like GameFriend had the same thought as me, which is I can be doing way more damage if I move my army down. And here they come. That shrine got taken out, and now It's on to the Twilight Spires. These are additional spires. And another shrine. And what's JXP doing? So he's moving around to the other side to, I don't know, try and do a base race maybe? Shadow Flyers getting some okay. Getting some more prisms. The Spriggan's trying to take out the array. They do get it. We have Gaunts over here. This is a weird force just getting chewed up by the laser beam. Sarvin's Watch is pretty deadly. And GameFriend over here now chewing up imps. So I don't really know. He's kind of got a last-ditch effort. He's gone into the main, but of course all there is here is, you know, this is production tech. There's no mine. The mine is gone. And these Spriggans, yeah, they're not going to find... They find another array, but it's not mining either. And now there are Vectors and Archangels in chase. Oh, so many shredded Spriggies. I don't think JXP is going to be able to come back out of this. Oh, okay, so that's all the Sprigs. What are we doing? Oh, more Sprigs and Weavers now. A whole March of the Weavers. This is cool. Okay, maybe Weaver is the right answer. And remember, JXP had a lot of bank, and it looks like he spent it. Now it's GameFriend with the bank. JXP still with 4,000 Therium. That's like 2 or 3 more games worth of Therium right there. So many Weavers here. Of course, they're not going to be good against the Archangel. But they do pretty good against everything else. Well, I guess when the Archangel's on the ground, they do alright. A couple lashes going in on Vectors mostly. I don't know if that's the right move. You want to save them for the Sabers. And they're all just going to teleport away? A couple getting chewed up by the Sabers first. And where did they go? Here they are. And that's a GG out of JXP.